Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. As usual, it's me, Ivan, and in today's video we'll be talking about this Citizen GMT, which is part of the Series 8 collection. It's definitely a watch that won't appeal to everybody, but I still think that there are quite a few things about it that you may find very interesting. The Series 8 collection is Citizen's premium line of watches with integrated bracelets, which has existed in Japan since 2008. However, I didn't hear about it until last year, which is when I reviewed the 870 model, and I really liked that one. Today's model is the 880. It's a limited edition of 1,300 pieces worldwide. It's a flashy gold PVD plated piece with an attractive faceted design, a very beautiful textured dial, and a true GMT movement. As always, I'll tell you about all these aspects in more detail, but before that, let's get the dimensions out of the way. This watch comes in a diameter of 41 mm. The lug-to-lug is 47, but due to the integrated bracelet design, you get fixed central links between the lugs, which extend the length of the case to 53 mm. These are angled though, so don't worry about them too much. And finally we've got the thickness, which is 13.5 mm. When it comes to the wearability, you can expect this Citizen to wear nice and comfortable on most wrists. Mine, as you know, is 17 cm or 6.7 inches in circumference, and although I haven't sized it, I can tell that the wearability won't be an issue for anyone. Keep in mind that the watch is a bit hefty, almost 180 grams unsized, but once again, it seems to be very well balanced, so I don't think it will be a problem. Moving on to the design, I think this is where this watch truly shines. I know the color scheme will split some opinions here. In fact, if I were to buy one of these, I would go for the red and blue model. But strictly speaking of the design, I absolutely love what Citizen has done with this one. It's quite angular, the sides of the case are faceted, and for the most part the watch is vertically brushed. As a result, guys, you get one very sporty and also somehow elegant watch that you could probably wear with any type of clothing. In addition, the build quality is very good, and you get a water resistance of 100 meters. The only thing that has caught my attention is that the crown is not signed. And while it's not such a big deal, I think it should have been, as it looks a bit too plain. Besides that, as I just said, I'm very happy with Citizen's choice of design language here and the tremendous presence that it has on the wrist. The bracelet is also built and finished very nicely. I've seen people complaining about the links being joined with pins and collars, but I'm actually in favor of those. In fact, as I've said in other videos, I find them more secure than screws, and in some cases it's even easier to size the bracelet as you don't need a specific size screwdriver. That's just my opinion, of course, so feel free to disagree. The only part of the bracelet that could be better in my opinion is the clasp. It looks exactly the same as my 300 euro Citizen, and I actually don't really mind that. However, it lacks any sort of micro adjustment, and now this is something that I'm sure many people will find disappointing. On the bright side, you do get a couple of half links, so not getting a perfect fit is unlikely. Next, let's have a closer look at the dial. Long story short, it's amazing, and you should definitely see it in person because under my harsh studio lights, I don't think it can be appreciated well enough. The texture is what really makes it look very interesting, and while I'm calling it a golden snowflake, it looks nothing like a Grand Seiko snowflake dial. It's actually more reminiscent of the Kirazuri dial of the SBGA 387 and the penguin dial of the Seiko Monster that I reviewed a couple of years ago. But you know what? This information is irrelevant. What really matters is that this dial is beautiful and it's very well executed. The applied indices are exceptionally well finished, the date window is framed, the handset has a nice length, and it goes well with the rest of the dial elements. Now, the GMT hand is not so easy to spot at a quick glance, but overall, I find the dial very legible and once again, very good looking. By the way, the indices and the hands carry a bit of Lume on them, and while we've seen better Lume application from Citizen, it's not that bad. The initial glow is nice and strong, but it starts to fade away fairly quickly, especially on the indices and the GMT hand. It is usable though, and in complete darkness, it does remain visible for a few hours. Alright guys, the last thing we need to mention is the movement. This Citizen is powered by the Miyota 9054, which is a brand new movement that was released with this 880 collection last year. It's a 4 Hz movement with 24 joules and 50 hours of power reserve. It's also anti-magnetic and it has a stated accuracy of -10 to +20 seconds per day, which is perfectly fine. However, the biggest highlight of this caliber is that it has a true GMT functionality, meaning that you can adjust the hour hand individually without having to mess up with the time. I guess most people wouldn't care, but those who often travel between different time zones will definitely appreciate it. In addition, this watch costs just €1,000, making it one of the most affordable true GMT watches on the market right now. So there you have it, the Citizen Series 8 880 GMT model is quite a bit of a deal. It's a true GMT watch with a decent movement that looks quite interesting in this root beer gold tone colorway. The build quality and the finishing, as we already saw, are very good, and the price is fair as well. In Spain it retails for about €1,200, but with a bit of a discount you would be able to grab one for just 1,000. At this point, I would typically say go check my AD Relojería Esparza, but unfortunately they don't have it in stock right now. But hey, it wouldn't hurt sending them a message and see if they can somehow help you out. Thank you for staying until the end, everyone. I appreciate it very much. If you'd like to see another cool watch review, here are a couple of options for you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing it so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. Take care guys, I'll see you in the next one.